Alright guys, welcome back to Gaming and Console Tech again. Now, PAX is well underway and I've been fairly looking forward to it, if I'm honest. There's been a few things coming up which I've been looking forward to see and generally awe at is probably the best way I can put it. But before PAX even started, which is actually started today, may I just add, which is Saturday, what has come out of it? Well, Nintendo with another, what I was hoping was a joke, basically, but unfortunately it's not. Now, if you guys have been watching this channel for a while, you'll know that I did pick up a 2DS. Now, the reason that I picked this up is because I don't see 3D. It's that simple. My eyes don't work that way. That's what I told you in my last video, and that's what I'm standing by. Basically, I can't see it. Basically, I have lazy eye, it doesn't work. So I was obviously in awe about getting a 3DS, and basically when that came out, it was the perfect thing for me. Now, the variations of the 3DS are generally always a step different, if you will. You've got the original 3DS, which was probably about the same size as a DS Lite, and then also the 3DS XL, which obviously was the bigger variation of it. And then you've also got the 2DS, which is obviously what I have. They announced before PAX even started that they were releasing another 3DS called the new 3DS.
Hello, hi. We're challenging people to try our pure dishwasher detergent with less chemicals. Okay, why not? Yeah, come on, come in. I made mashed potato last night. See how it's...
That would be the internet being weird. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, they've released a new 3DS, and that's actually what it's called, the new 3DS. There's no variation like there is between basically what you'd call the 3DS and then the 3DS XL. There's nothing. It's just called the new 3DS with the new, like, jumping out in capital letters. That's generally what you've got. Now, they're making two of these. They're making a smaller one, and also they are making a XL version of it as well. The smaller one, you can actually change the face panels on the outside. It's a clamshell design like it was with the original DS and the original 3DS, but you can change the outside panels on them with different designs and things like that, similar to what you could do with the original Xbox 360, where you could change the faceplates. But that isn't the only variation. Basically, this new 3DS has a more powerful processor in it. Now, at the moment, this is coming out in Japan in October. Now, over here, it won't come out till next year. It's that simple. Normally they get it a good few months before we do. What's funny about this scenario is it might have a bigger processor, or a faster processor, should I say. But along with this faster processor, they are releasing games for the new 3DS that will only work for the new 3DS. So essentially what they've done is changed a little bit of the hardware so you can't play any of the new 3DS games on things like the 2DS or even the original 3DS. Along with the other variations of this console, you've also got a second nub, which basically replaces the clip-on pad that you had for the original 3DS. Now, again, I'm not going to complain too much, but the nub doesn't even look like it would be that easily accessible. You can put your finger on it, but it's right at the top corner where your face buttons are, your Y, A, X and B. You've got this little nub just in the corner of where the screen is. To me, that's asking for trouble. If you guys remember what the PSP's nub was like, that was terrible, if I'm perfectly honest. Absolutely terrible. It was stiff, it was alright for what it was, but it was flat and just it didn't work very well, in my view. I'd prefer to use the D-pad on the PSP, which with most games I do change to as a default setting. But this one just looks terrible. Whether that'll play out as terrible, I don't know, but it looks terrible. I'm not saying it is, it just looks it. Along with that, you've also got 2 more shoulder buttons as well as the L and R. You've got, I'm guessing, ZR and ZL, which, if I'm correct, are actually on the classic controller for the Wii, which is always good. You've also got the same buttons on the Wii U pad as well. Now, my problem with this 3DS is the fact that Nintendo essentially doing what they did with the Wii U. When the Wii U came out, I was actually working for a game retailer where I live, and this is what annoyed me. When the Wii U got announced, everybody thought it was an add-on for the original Wii, and it doesn't make sense for them to basically essentially do what they're going to do now. This is going to confuse consumers in the fact that they're going to think, oh, it's just another variation of the 3DS. What they're not going to realise is those specific games that come out for that console will not play on an original 3DS or an original 3DS XL or a 2DS. When the 2DS came out, that was, unless you were a gamer, you were never going to get that. A lot of people came in to games saying, oh, I want a 2DS. It's a new console. No, it's not. It's a variation of the 3DS. And these consumers were generally confused about what they were buying, and they didn't actually know what they were buying. And that's essentially what they've done with this new console. They've confused consumers into thinking that they are getting a new console, when essentially it's not really a new console, it's more of a variation with specific games that will only play with that processor inside that console. And that's what gets me, that's what annoys me. Now, Nintendo have been doing this a lot lately, since the Wii U came out. That's when it started. And then they did the 2DS, which just annoyed me, because essentially the 3D isn't a big deal for me. Like I said, I mean, I'm not saying it's not a big deal for some people, it might be a selling point, but for me, not so much. And that's mainly because I can't see it. Obviously, other people out there will disagree, and I completely agree with you. That's your self-opinion, but for Nintendo to do the same mistake 3 times in their essential career, it doesn't make sense. It's just one of those scenarios that doesn't mould in my head. Now, you can turn the 3D off like you can on the original 3DS, that's not an issue. You can still use the 2D on it. But the fact of the matter is the fact that they're essentially bringing out a semi-next-gen console. Now, if you've looked online, you're going to, well, on YouTube even, you're going to see a lot about this. One in particular is Review Tech USA. Now, the guy's name is Rich, right? He is a great guy, he's a sound enough guy. And I completely agree with what he said. If you want more insight on this, then go to his channel, Retro Review Tech USA, and he's got some damn good points, if I'm perfectly honest, and that's essentially what made me be inspired to do this video. But like I say, I won't mind you guys telling me what you think of it, really. Just give me some insight on what you think of the DS, if you think it's a good idea, bad idea. I'm not going to judge any of you. Basically, I've had my view, and now it's your guys' turn to, who haven't generally got a YouTube channel. You don't have to have a YouTube channel, you know, just comment below, tell me what you guys think. In the meantime, guys, thanks for listening to me rant on. I know it's stupid, but anyway, thanks for listening to rant on, and I shall see you guys in another video. In the meantime, like, comment, subscribe, and I shall see you guys again soon. See you later, guys.